Hey, Phil, what you up to?
I was just playing a little Stardew Valley with Shane at the moment.
You let Shane, on your farm.
Well, yeah.
Why would you do that?
Well, why wouldn't I let him do that?
You know he likes to roleplay, right?
Yeah.
And right now, he's playing a druid. Fire is a part of nature.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Not to say that I told you so, but I freaking told you so!
Well, it looks like it's a new save file now.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Unqualified Experts. I'm your Return the Brea Farm to the Nature Corrupt Overlord Shane.
And I'm Philip, also known as Feel. And I'll be starting a new file soon.
You'll rediscover the game, you'll love it. And so today we are talking about a game that is near and dear to our hearts. So, Stardew Valley. It is such a cultural icon of a game at this point that I would argue it's probably not even a Harvest Moon spin-off. It's just kind of taking the farming life sim to a whole new level. And part of the reason I love it is it's relaxing. Like, that's one of the key things. It's just such a relaxing, cool vibe for a game. And my life isn't. So I appreciate that part of the day where I get to check out for a bit and build a farm, whether it's a serious one or I'm goofing around and making a shrine of all the stone statues that Phil can't find on his save game files.
It's now just getting into the obscene levels. I would agree with you too. Like, this game was a Harvest Moon Story of Seasons kind of tribute game that he made, but it has far surpassed what those games have done and really he's gone and made the genre better, and he's made this game so much more than those games ever have been.
Yeah, he set a whole new bar for it, and somehow you're in the small group who has not played this game or doesn't know the story behind how it's developed. We'll have a link in the description about the story, which is worth looking up, as well as kind of an article we did on games like Stardew Valley for those of you who know Stardew, love it, and want more games in the playlist. So a few tips for beginners, because that first season can be a bit overwhelming.
This game is like Minecraft in that it just throws you in and says, sink or swim, buddy.
Yep, have fun. And the first one, and one that many of us miss, and I missed for the first, 200 hours or so of playing.
Oh, are you kidding?
I sometimes miss things for a long time.
Okay.
Step 1, optimize your settings. In the beginning, especially if you play with headphones, the music is blaringly loud. But as you're going to adjust the sound, there's a lot of other things there you should be looking at. One of the big ones, the zoom. You want to change it from 100% down to the 75%. It basically lets you see way more of the screen as you're running around. And it's a fairly decent sized map with a lot going on. You want to be able to see as much of each screen as you can when you run in, because time is an illusion, you don't have enough of it, so the more you can see of the screen as you're going from space to space, the much, much better off you're going to be. And so that's a quick and easy fix. It makes the game much more reasonable. The second is that I always put down the mark tool hit location, because otherwise I will waste energy honing the same piece of ground 10 times when I think I'm advancing.
I will say that is one part that bugs a lot of people, and it's not just the combat gets a lot of grief because it is a little wonky.
Mhm.
Even when you know how to use it, it's a little wonky. But that same problem is there present when you're hoeing or chopping or mining.
Or you think you're swinging the axe on the tree, but you're one space off, so you're just wasting energy.
Yeah, so you want that little red square to tell you you're hitting your mark.
Yeah, you're good, or you need to keep moving. And in the beginning, every action takes so much energy when you have the least amount of energy to spend. So just marking that little box is going to save you a lot of energy, a lot of time, and a lot of grief. And then the other one, for me, change the footstep volume and ambient noise volume. I said, the music's great, but you don't want blowing out your eardrums. The ambient noises are good, but you want it balanced with the music. And I don't know why people want footsteps at high volume, but I just put those all the way down so I can listen to the other stuff. But just optimize your settings so the gameplay is just a much better experience for you. And that'd be my first tip for beginners. So what do you got, Phil? What do you bring to the table?
On my fancy dancy typed out notes here. There we go. The biggest one, especially for spring in through the summer, is gonna be your energy management.
Yeah.
And this looks like having extra energy to eat while you're doing stuff so you don't pass out way too early in the day. I typically go with spring onions because they're free and they do bring your energy up quite nicely and they will keep you going. I usually use spring onions until I open up the mushroom cave.
Yeah.
And then after that, I am tripping balls and going to town all day long. Plus,
you're not supposed to eat the red ones.
I mean,
Carry on.
Who needs to rock in a straight line? Chickens are awesome to watch run around, anyways.
I'm sure.
I don't know why anybody would go with the fruit cave. The positives and negatives, or the pros and cons of both of them. The mushroom cave far outweighs the bat cave that gives you fruit. The other thing that goes into the energy management is actually knowing what you're going to do the next day and where you're possibly going to be going. So like if you know you're going to the caves, you can prep yourself before you start your day.
Yeah.
You can have your food, you can have your tools that you don't want to lose stashed away. You can just be ready to go first thing in the morning. And that even goes with like, oh, hey, I've got fields to harvest. I know these things are coming up, so you can have that energy ready to go. My last thing with energy management is always, for me, it's been don't pass out. Always make it home. Now, Shane brought to my attention that I was missing one fine point, and what was that?
If you level up during the day, which when you're playing, if you hit the pause menu so you can look at your player stats, it'll actually show you if you've leveled up. So if you start the day all level 1s, in the middle of the day, you may have one that says level 2. And every day you level up, you get that little screen in the middle of the night saying, congrats, you leveled up. But you also get all your energy back. There is no penalty the next day as long as you leveled up. So if you level up during the day and you have no money, go ahead and pass out 2 a.m. No harm, no foul.
Do you still lose some of your items out of your bag to Linus?
No, you lose money if you have it, some of it. So if you're well under 1,000 gold, it's not a big deal. If you have virtually no gold, you get a hilarious letter from Jojo Mart where they're whining. It literally says, well, according to state law, we are required to take you home safely without charging you. Which I found hilarious. But yeah, you don't lose items unless you die in the mines.
Oh, okay.
So if you pass out outside the mines,
It's
you
just
get
money.
you get charged money up to 1,000 gold. If you don't have any gold and you leveled up, no penalty.
Nice. Harvey's expensive.
Yeah. So,
No, Harvey is very expensive.
But other than that, Phil is right. Unless you've leveled up and you know you've leveled up, you don't want the penalty on your energy the next day. That's even worse than the gold, to be honest.
You start like half energy. And especially early game, that's brutal.
Yeah, early game, you don't have enough energy as is. So to lose half of it. Yeah. And I really agree with that. Energy is king, especially in the spring and summer, especially year one. And so, aside from tracking the level ups and the spring onions, which I'm a big fan of, if you're growing too many crops, or you're doing too much mining, or you're just trying to kind of do a min-max thing, parsnips and chubs are your friends. They're the things that give you the most energy, and you're losing out on the least amount of gold by eating them. So if you are going to eat some of your crops or eat some of your fish, you want to eat the parsnips and the chubs first whenever you get a chance. And I would say this seems a bit counterintuitive, but spend some of those rainy days chopping a lot of trees, because the hardest skill to level up is your foraging skill. But cutting down trees and collecting the wood actually counts as foraging. The reason for this is if you hit level 5 before salmon berry season, you get double the berries. And if you spend 2 days collecting salmon berries, which I believe is like spring 17 or 16, it's about there.
It's the late teens.
If you get double the berries from every bush, you can collect almost 300 berries in 2-3 days. And then energy is not an issue the rest of the game, because you have so much there that by the time you run out, you've gotten star drop fruit, you've gotten level ups. Energy is just not an issue. So if you hurry up and get the foraging in time, it's no longer an issue. If you don't, one berry a bush, it's not even worth grabbing at that point unless they just happen to be there. And so that would be my surprise one for Energy's King, is get that forage level up, because you want those double berry drops.
That becomes a huge play. And then if you get the triple, where they pop out 3 of them.
Yeah, which you can do by fall, but you're never going to get that in spring.
Yep. My next really big point is go ahead and mess up in this game.
Oh yeah, that's part of the fun.
Experiment, push what you think of this farm and the game can do, because you can go and look and you can see people have done all sorts of amazing things, but you'll find yourself gravitating towards one play style that you enjoy, and it really becomes this piercing like dagger into your soul of like, this is my personality and I can't get away from it. But the fun part is time doesn't matter in this game. It goes forever. There are people with 300-year farms because they've been playing the same file. So if you mess up this season, like I've missed crop plantings. Like I completely spaced it.
Yeah.
You're going to get a next spring. You're going to get a next fall. Like it's not a like, oh, I messed up, I got to restart.
Yeah, when you're halfway through fall and you realize I didn't plant any of the rare seeds. So
yeah.
You have another year and you have a greenhouse. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. You can always fix it in this game. I am constantly like just tinkering and because I like an aesthetically pleasing farm, but I run a fairly min-max farm every time. Like I just produce stuff. But I'm always changing it. I'm always tinkering with it. I'm always improving it and trying to make it pretty and functional at the same time. Which is why my farm looks like crap right now, is because I'm moving everything and I'm trying something new. And that's the fun of the game.
That and all the druid bombs.
That really put the damper on my day.
And although one thing I will say is, especially for beginning players, the community center is such a big part of the game, and even for return players. So pay attention to the community center in spring, once you do that little unlock mission with the wizard, because there are 2 sections, spring forage and spring crops. If you don't nail those in year 1 by the end of spring, you don't have another chance to get them until year 2. And so both of those rooms actually give pretty serious rewards. So you do want to pay attention to that. You do want to make sure to get at least 1 forage in for everything in spring. You do want to make sure to have 1 spring crop. And it's way cheaper to get 5 gold parsnips for the quality crop bundles than to have to use melons and pumpkins for them. So it is a good thing to keep an eye on that. Other than that, no mess up is bad. You can fix everything. And even that one, you can always do year 2.
Yep.
It's just the bonuses are so nice. You do kind of want to have those out of the way, just in case you rush the community center.
Yep. A lot of people also really enjoy the challenge of completing the community center in the first year.
Yeah, I usually miss it by 1 or 2 items. But it's a fun rush to see if you can do it.
Yeah, it is. And so with the 1.5 remake update, he added in some extra bundles. So now you can go in and set it up where you have random bundles. So it changes the game up a lot on the community center, which is super fun.
And you also have the option of making sure you can finish it year 1, because there was one item, the red cabbage, that it was always hit or miss. You can mark it now so you at least have the chance to buy the seed from the traveling merchant now. And so that way you at least have a chance to complete it every walkthrough. Unless you keep forgetting that's Friday night and Sunday night, then you might be out of luck. But we all do that.
What day is it anyways? I don't know. My last real big key for beginners is, this sounds really bad, is go look up the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
We'll put a link in the description so you can find it easily. I keep it open when I play. I have my window going and I have Stardew Valley on the Wikipedia on the other. It sounds really weird, even as seasoned a player as I am. There are so many villagers, you're not going to keep them all straight. There's so much happening all the time, you're not going to keep it straight.
You're not going to know the schedule of Penny on Summer 12. You're just not. So if you have to deliver something, and I'm one of those players who tends to old school adamantly hates online wikis, will not use them. Stardew is the clear exception. Like, you need those schedules. You need to have a way to locate people. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You're looking for that one fish that you're not sure you've ever caught. So do I have to be night or morning or day? Do I have to be rainy? Do I have to be in a different season? So the wiki, it's so well maintained. It's one of the best ones online, frankly, for a fan community.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, have that tabbed. It just makes sense. I completely agree with that.
Shane brought it up. The community around this game is one of the coolest things about the game, too. It's not, it just got made and now it's kind of floating out there and you get some people talking about it. No, there is tons of people that have put 1,000+ hours into it and keep coming back for more. And they want to help you get better, especially if you ask questions and stuff like that. There's also one thing I know I love, and I'm not sure everybody has noticed. On the Wikipedia page, there is a little side tab that says Farm Planner. It is another website. All it does is pull up the farm maps, all of the farm maps, and you can plug in whatever you want on there. It has all the buildings, it has all the crops, it has everything. So you can plan out your farm however you want.
I did not know that, actually.
If you wondered how my farms get so beautiful, is because I sit and play around in there until I'm happy, and then I go into the game and take a screenshot, and then go into the game and make that happen. It's a lot of work, but it's really fun to see the possibilities you can do.
Nice. And also, the last one, we kind of touched on this a bit with Stardew. If there's any game where just play your own game. Like, if there's any game where you don't have to min-max, you don't have to rush, you don't have to do it perfectly, Stardew is kind of the epitome of that game. Phil has said he likes being super productive and having kind of a semi-min-max. He'll meet everybody to get the mission done, and then he'll have no hearts with anybody in fall because he forgot there was a town there. I tend to do a wide mix of things depending on the file. I have done the million gold on hand in year 1 challenge. I have done min-maxes just to see how they work. I've discovered min-max strategies that don't involve fishing that still get you 1,000,000 gold in year 1. And
Really?
I have files where I refuse to plant any crops that come from the store. So only wild seeds, only forage. He looks like Jerry Garcia. It's great.
Nice.
And I have one that has a bunch of stone statues as a temple to Cthulhu because, I don't know, I had stone owls, I had meteorites. That file needed to be weird. Funny fact, the day after I set up that temple to the stone owl, the Trollfill, a meteorite hit the only open space it possibly could have hit there. So it worked. That's my interpretation. But whatever your style of play, it's acceptable. I mean, it's one of the amazing things, since there's going to be another year, since there's going to be more seasons. If you want to just fish and be a beach bum, choose the beach farm and enjoy. If you want to be a super productive min-maxer, plan out every single action of energy and go for it. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can go from farming to ranching. You can be a hippie who barely keeps the place clean. You can literally do whatever you want. There is no end game. So you have to just keep on enjoying what you want to do as long as you want to do it.
And at any point, you can change your mind and go to town.
All it takes is a motivated druid with a chest full of bombs. Or, you can do it a more conventional way. Whatever works for you. And, yeah, and as me and my friends do, I have, entire sheds full of kegs. Because, that country is not going to booze itself.
Nope. I went preserved shards. I did the math.
See, I don't like math, so I don't do it. So, you get to play your game. And so, those are just some of the things we love about Stardew, and those are the tips we would give to beginners who are discovering this game for the first time.
Yeah.
It's such a great world. The characters have some really super cool character arcs and storylines, and it's just such an easy game to fall in love with. So, what are your tips for beginners? What would you tell new players? Or if you're a new player, what has you excited about this game? Let us know in the comments, and please feel free to like and subscribe. It's a wonderful free way to give us support, and, come join the community. It's an awesome game and an awesome place to be. And until next time, good gaming.
See you guys.
Bye. If you like what you just saw, please support us by hitting that like button and subscribing to our channel for more great gaming content.